I'm back. Hi. Hey guys, it's your girl Brandy, aka Brandy4. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, I do lots of videos on Love Island, pop culture, etc, etc. If you like any of those things, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will be doing weekly reviews of Love Island season 10, just like how I did for season 9 and season 8 and season 7. So if you like any of those things that I mentioned, subscribe to my channel. You can always refer back to my old videos from the past seasons that I've done. And yeah, just so you can feel out the vibe of how my videos are, how I do my reviews, because I don't hold back. I love to express my American opinion on this UK season. And yeah, I'm not holding back. So let's get right into it. For starters, I will make the disclaimer that I am going to be talking about highlights, strictly highlights. Not really gonna go down listing every bit and piece of this week's episodes, but I am going to just talk about what stood out to me the most. Before I even get into this week's episodes, I do want to call out that I do appreciate the Love Island producers making the series more diverse. We've been saying this for years, that the series needs more Black people, specifically more Black women. And I love that we have 2 Black women on the main cast right now. So I'm loving that. Love Catherine, love Whitney. However, that being said, I don't know if y'all been on Facebook. But the comments are actually mad disrespectful. And I've noticed that this season has even lower ratings than last season, or it basically just has the lowest ratings out of every Love Island season, which on one hand makes sense because Love Island season 9, the winter series, it was terrible. It was not great. So it makes sense why this series has lower ratings, because after that series where no good couples that anyone liked came out of that series, so therefore I'm not too surprised that no one's really excited for this series, 1. And 2, the promo wasn't that great for season 10 as well. If I'm being honest, I kind of just like heard about it on Reddit that it was coming out. Like if it weren't for Reddit, because I usually check the Love Island Reddit like on a daily basis. If it weren't for Reddit, I would not have known that season 10 was coming out this summer. So yeah, that definitely contributes to the low ratings, but I also think after like the first episode, the ratings did decrease even more, mainly because there's a diverse cast. And Fiat 500 does not like seeing Black people on Love Island. My question is, why wouldn't you want to see diverse faces? Why wouldn't you want something different? We've been getting pretty much the same type of people every season. Even this season with like Molly being the blonde, the typical blonde that everyone goes after. We've been seeing this week after week, series after series. And it's kind of boring now. Season 7 literally had only white people on it, basically. So what is so bad with like getting a diverse cast? I don't really understand. So the amount of hate that I'm seeing on Facebook in regards to they're not speaking proper English, or it's like I'm watching Straight Outta Compton. They keep saying bro and bruv and what? Turn the screen off then. Turn the TV off then. This is how young people talk. It's like, if you can't handle that, turn the screen off. Don't watch the series. I don't care. This season is strictly for Black people, for people of color. Like, we're having a great time watching it so far. Because overall, I think the cast is very strong. I feel like the main cast, very, very strong. Everyone has a unique personality. Kind of seems like people aren't necessarily going on for fame. Like, I don't get that vibe from this cast. I feel like people are really just genuinely trying to experience Love Island and just dating around. And that's the vibe I'm getting from this cast. And that's why I'm honestly loving this season so far, and I think it is stronger than season 9 for sure. I would say I don't know about whether it's stronger than season 8 just yet. However, you know, Whitney is the star of this season right now, but let's get into it real quick. I actually just want to get straight into it because, yeah, let's just talk about the cast. So yeah, for starters, I want to talk about Molly and Mitch first. So as you guys can tell, Molly and Mitch, they're giving off, you know, the typical Fiat 500 couple that the whites will in fact be rooting for. You can tell from day one that they really hit it off, that their personalities are pretty compatible for the most part. They have the same banter, the same sense of humor. And plus, honestly, they are a good looking couple when they stand next to each other. So it does kind of work out. However, I think because everyone sees that in the villa, all the men see how well they hit it off. And they're kind of just expressing that to Molly. Like, I don't know, I just kind of thought you guys were closed off because of how well you're hitting it off. Molly is thinking, oh snap, like, I don't want to appear closed off right now. I also think because of that first challenge, like the get to know challenge that they had, where Molly had found out that Mitch had like 4 girlfriends all at once because he didn't know how to cut it off, which is insane. I think because of that as well, Molly was kind of like, yeah, I definitely want to keep my options open. I don't really want to just settle down with this guy just yet. So I totally get that with Molly. However, with Mitch, he's kind of just like, look, I really vibe with you the most. I actually really like your personality. I'm the most attracted to you out of anyone in this villa. So to him, it's kind of like, why really go after anything else right now? Like, I'm seeing what I need in you. So I understand both sides to it. And then, so yeah, Molly, she's kind of just been getting to know white black boy Zachariah. Yeah, might be problematic, but I said what I said. Because spicy white Zachariah, yeah, she's like really getting to know him, hitting it off, I guess, even though, like, I understand they're attracted to one another. Do I think they're compatible? No. Absolutely not. I personally think because Molly appeared closed off with Mitch when Zachariah came in, I think that's what's intriguing Zachariah, what's like keeping Zachariah interested in Molly. However, I don't really see how they're compatible. For me personally, I have not been getting any type of personality out of Zachariah. So I'm kind of confused. Like, I just don't see it. I see it based off like attraction and nothing more. On top of that, like, of course, new guy Sammy, on Thursday's episode, he came to the villa, expressed his interest in Molly. And of course, Molly, she's not gonna, you know, turn him down right away because she does want to keep her options open. Because everyone literally keeps going up to her and saying, well, you seem closed off. Because everyone is doing that, and this is my opinion, I think that's why, like, she wants to explore her options. Otherwise, she would have been real chill with just getting to know Mitch. And so Mitch, not wanting to be a mug, pulls Molly to the side and is like, hey, I don't necessarily want to just, you know, wait around while you're just getting to know all these guys. I don't want to be kissing you in bed and whatnot while you're just getting to know all these guys while I'm not getting to know anyone because I don't want to. So he was kind of like, I'm going to take a step back, let you do your own thing. That sounds like, that makes sense. Like, makes sense to me anyways. Why did she start crying after he said that? After he expressed his boundary, she started crying and playing victim. I'm kind of like, don't get me wrong, like, I do agree that she needs to play the field, she needs to explore her options, but like, why are you already expressed that you're gonna do that? Why are you playing the victim all of a sudden because Mitch was like, I'm okay with you doing that, just don't come crawling back to me kissing up on me. That's really all he said. He kind of said it in like a serious tone, and maybe she's just not used to like that straight to the point type of communication, but she got very like emotional, which made no sense to me. That kind of like irritated me, not gonna lie. Also, I don't really want this to be the Molly Island You know, kind of like how season 8, it was like Gemma Island for a week. Yeah, don't want that. So yeah, let's wrap this up by next week. I feel like if anything, if she doesn't end up with Zachariah, she needs to just stick with Mitch and let's move on. Next. Yes, let's talk about my girl Whitney, because Whitney is just the star of the season. She's winning the season in my opinion. I feel like she would be the first Black woman to win the series because of how great of a personality she has. She's very funny. She came in like, it was mad funny. What was it? Episode 2, episode 3, when she came in as a bombshell. After Zachariah stole Catherine from Andre. Andre ended up going on a date with Whitney. And Whitney, she was coming with the vim. She was playing no games, and you could tell that Andre couldn't handle it. So she was like, yeah, next. And I feel like who can actually handle her, and the only person in that villa who can handle her is Mehdi. Is Mehdi. And it's funny because like Mehdi, of course, he was originally coupled up with Roechee, but Roechee was just not into him. But Mehdi, I feel like he's such a sweet guy. He's very, you know, he seems like an introverted type of personality / chill personality. And I do appreciate personalities like that on Love Island, because I feel like, I don't know, at least season 9 anyways, everybody was a damn extrovert. Everybody was doing the most. I like to have a mixture of people, you know, just like similar to like season 3 where you had like a Camilla and an Olivia, you know, like I want a mixture of different personalities, and I appreciate Mehdi's personality for being so chill. So the fact that like Whitney and Mehdi are really hitting it off, it makes sense. It honestly makes sense. And honestly, I feel like Whitney is giving more vibes in a sense that like she really is going to be the breakout star. Like I have so much faith in Whitney. So yeah, Team Whitney. Yes, Zachariah and Catherine. Now, it was a great first 2 episodes. This was great for the Black girls, for all my fellow Black girls, because the way Catherine seemed like she was pulling all the men the first 2 episodes, it was just chef's kiss. At first, Andre was like smitten by Catherine, but then Zachariah walks into the villa and easily or automatically, or what is the word? I don't even know. He basically just gravitates towards Catherine like immediately. That's the word. Immediately gravitates towards Catherine. Immediately gravitates towards Zachariah because, you know, Zachariah is spicy. So she says. But however, after Zachariah couples up with Catherine, out of nowhere, he expresses his interest in Molly, which makes no sense. It kind of just comes out of nowhere. But I personally think it's because Zachariah kind of just wants to try to steal Molly away from Mitch. He wants to basically see if he can steal her from Mitch, which is really annoying. Because it's just like, why are you going to just, I don't know. He just made us think that he was like really only into Catherine. Like, why choose Catherine if you were just going to eventually want to get to know Molly immediately? It doesn't really make sense to me. And it's weird because Thursday night's episode, he was basically saying that he was going to talk to Catherine about it. How come we didn't get any footage of him talking to Catherine about him wanting to explore a connection with Molly? We never got to see that. So it kind of just looks like he's doing it behind her back, which is not okay. I'm sure they had a conversation because Catherine, she doesn't really seem too bothered, but it's also like, what the heck? She's clearly bothered. Who wouldn't be bothered? Because she kind of just left Andre over there because she was into Zachariah. So I don't know. I'm not really liking how Zachariah is moving, and he's kind of boring. Okay, I would like him better if he wasn't so boring. Next, and then yes, let's talk about Tyrique and Ella. Can I just say that Tyrique, he's one of my faves. He is one of my faves. Actually, I think he is my favorite guy right now because of how chaotic he is. And it's funny because he's literally besties with Toby from season 7, and they've been besties for like years, since childhood. So I think that's really ironic because Toby, he was chaotic his season. And now Tyrique, he's like more upfront with his chaotic behavior, which I absolutely love. However, the hunchback child, oh my gosh, he needs to straighten that back. Actually, seeing him makes me like sit up straight more, because I'm just like, dang, he got a neck problem, seriously. But anyways, he's basically coupled up with Ella. And it's funny because towards the beginning, obviously the public couples them both up with each other. And Ella actually knew Tyrique, but Tyrique didn't even remember her. Which pretty much just shows how he's going to be throughout the series. He is going to be the player of this series. Let's keep it real. I do think Ella and Tyrique have sexual chemistry. Like, I think they'll go far-ish, like 10, 15 episodes, 20 episodes far. But once they get to Casa Amor, or once a bombshell that is Tyrique's type comes into the villa, he's going to go straight to her. And I honestly can't wait until that happens. Honestly, Ella, I feel bad that I'm saying that, but honestly, we all see it coming. He's already a part of Destiny's Childish. You can already see by the way he's acting with Jess, because Jess has already expressed that Tyrique is her type. I love Jess, by the way. I actually really like Jess. Like, I love her personality. But anyways, yes, she already expressed that she is into Tyrique, even told Tyrique. And it's fair because they've been having like flirty banter. They're always flirting with each other. But Tyrique shut that down real fast and basically said that Jess isn't his type. But then like the challenge that same night, he went and kissed Jess. I personally think even though Sammy is in the villa now for Jess basically, I do think Jess is still into Tyrique. And I wouldn't be surprised if something happens between them later on in the season. Would not be surprised in the slightest. However, that's gonna cause mad drama because I feel like Ella, she don't play. I feel like Ella will call you out. So I'm looking forward to that drama. And yes, also wanted to talk about Roechee and Andre. So yeah, Roechee, she's definitely attracted to Andre. Has been attracted to him since day one, I think. It's just that Andre, you can tell like he's just more attracted to the biracials or black women. So because initially he was like more or most attracted to Ella, and then when he saw Catherine, he was very attracted to her. So he didn't really look at Roechee. But I feel like Roechee is letting it known that she is attracted to him. She's trying to play it off as, oh, that's just my friend. She's such a lie. She's such a lie. She knows she attracted to him. And honestly, I feel like by Friday's episode, you can tell that they're both already there, already gravitating towards each other. I kind of had that feeling that they would gravitate towards each other. So I am excited to see where it goes. However, not even gonna hold you, there's a reason why they are compatible in a sense, is because they're both kind of emotionally immature. And I say this because I've noticed these past episodes, they both kind of have trouble communicating how they feel. Like when somebody would ask them like how they're feeling about a certain situation, whatnot, their words kind of get mixed up. It's kind of all over the place. So I'm hoping that throughout the series, you will see growth in both of their characters, basically. Then yeah, I kind of want to talk on just Jess and George, I guess. But yeah, Jess, great character on the show. Who already knows very much into Tyrique, but Tyrique friend-zoned her so fast. I felt so bad, but honestly, she took it so well, and it just shows how confident she is within herself. So I do like that energy with her. And I am glad that this new bombshell Sammy came into the villa and has expressed interest in Jess. So I love that for her. But honestly, I feel like the villa is kind of pushing them both to be together. But I don't feel like Jess is really feeling it as of yet. I still think she's very much into Tyrique. And I feel like, quite frankly, Sammy is very much into Molly, to be honest. Yes, last but not least, I guess I should talk about George. I mean, yeah, George was originally coupled up with Jess, obviously, but Jess just was not into him, period. And you could tell that George wasn't into Jess either. I feel like Jess was interested in George until like the first coupling. Like when they coupled up with each other, George kind of seemed like he was not into Jess. If anything, he kind of seemed rude with the way his reaction was. And I'm sure that put Jess off completely. It put me off. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not surprised that that didn't work out. And then George tried to, you know, talk to Whitney a bit because he realized he had no more options in the villa. And obviously that did not work out. But all for the best, because allegedly George is like kind of a R-word, kind of a homophobe, like heard all that stuff. And apparently he also left his girlfriend to come on the show. So that's always a red flag. So the recoupling for this week, the girls had to choose who they wanted to couple up with, and whatever boy doesn't get picked gets dumped from the island. So Tyrique and Ella are coupled now, Roechee and Andre, Catharine and Zach. I'm surprised the producers let Catherine choose before Molly, because it kind of made it just anticlimactic. It was just like this entire episode was basically around whether Molly would choose Zachariah or Mitch. And she didn't really get the choice because Catherine went before her. Don't get me wrong, like I'm happy about that, but also I'm kind of like, it would have been nice to not drag the storyline for much longer. And also, you know, drag Catherine to be like in this love triangle for much longer. So yeah, a little disappointed in that. So yeah, then Molly eventually coupled up with Mitch. Like we all knew that was gonna happen, of course. Sammy and Jess, Whitney and Mehdi. And then that leaves George, who gets dumped. Don't really care. Don't feel that bad. It was actually a pretty good week one, a solid cast. Usually the season goes pretty slow first week, but I feel like the first week this time was actually pretty good. Not too much drama. Not like, yeah, it wasn't overly dramatic, which I like. Like, yeah, of course, whatever, Molly cried, but it was over something like pretty small. So it wasn't like, you know, season 9 where freaking Shaq is yelling at the whole entire villa. So I did like that. It focused on the connections and the connections only. And yeah, I have high hopes for this season. But yeah, that's all I have to say, really. If you like this video, make sure you, of course, like the video and subscribe to your girl Brainy 4, because I am going to be doing weekly reviews of Love Island season 10 of the UK. So make sure you subscribe, support your girl Brainy 4, support small YouTubers. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.